Hello everybody, and welcome back to the... Welcome back everybody. What a bit of a cliffhanger for the start, a bit of a view into the rest of the video. So welcome to, as I didn't get to finish in my first sentence, the weekly review show. So if you're new to this weekly review show, then it's essentially sitting down at the end of the week. You know, I'm inviting everybody to kick back with any sort of drink they want and just enjoy while I, give you guys the show. We'll be reviewing lots of the different types of investments, including all of the precious metals, some of the members of the stock exchange, and all those different sort of things in an easy to understand way, or so I hope I'm making it. So I've designed this series in order to help people get a bit of an idea so that each week they are learning about what's happening and why it's happening a bit. So we've got some really exciting stuff to be discussing today because we've seen massive growth and massive movement in the precious metals area, which is very exciting, and I can't wait to get to talking about it. So let's head on over right about now. Alrighty, so we're going to start by talking about the precious metals, and that's right, you saw correctly in the thumbnail. As of this weekend, when we shut on, it might have been, 24th, Friday the 24th of July 2020. That's right, gold shut over $1,900 US, which means technically we have broken the all-time high for gold, which is crazy. I'm so excited about that because gold actually has not reached anywhere that close since 2011, which was the previous record. And technically right now we are just over 1900, but I think we closed at 1909 or something around there, that price in US dollars. And that means that we did actually hit the record of closing times, that is. I think the all-time high is about 1923, so 1,923 US dollars, but that was not at closing. So it did come down a bit before closing on that day in 2011. So I'm going to count it as a win, and I'm hoping that when Monday comes, so tomorrow, if you're watching this when it comes out, the markets will open up and gold will be shooting. So I'm very excited to see what happens when the market reopens, but some really, really awesome stuff there. I'm very excited to see how gold spans out. I'm hoping that in terms of Australian dollars, we see gold hit at the very minimum, and I think we'll hit this, $2,700 an ounce. I think this week is probably the week. I think we can see it hitting above 2,700 an ounce. That's just a prediction, but I mean, the ask price that we shot at is 2,677, so we're very close. Very, very close. It's $23, or less than $23 actually, but very close to hitting that. So I'm really happy on how gold's been doing, and I think we can definitely keep it going. I think this time the gold spikes more due to the fact that people are actually thinking about it and making a bit more of a smart investment rather than making a rash panic decision. And that's a lot more healthy. You know, we want to see people thinking things out rather than panic buying, because then we get crazy spikes that just spike up and come down. But I think if people are making rational decisions that is causing the price of gold to drive up, then we might see it continue to rise. So I secretly think, I don't know, I think we will hit the 2,700 when we open again, but I'm kind of hoping that it goes down a tiny bit just because I can get in a little bit more before I see it come up again. That was what I was talking to somebody else about on the Silver Stackers forum, but we're all wishing the best for gold and silver. Speaking of silver, we're closed above $32 an ounce. That's crazy. $32 an ounce is over $10 higher than when I bought into silver for the first time. And it's been quite remarkable for me, honestly. I think I was very lucky in the time I bought. I bought in the very distinct dip, you could call it. I'll go into the charts to show you guys. But we did see a significant dip for silver as gold was climbing. And then silver did recover. But I will show you guys once again. That was the dip that I managed to get in. That very spot, pretty much exactly. Under $22 an ounce. So remarkable growth for silver. You know, we're over 22 US dollars, which is incredible. Incredible. I mean, for me, I've just had such an incredible journey getting into precious metals. I've had a really fluctuative, I guess you could call it, journey. It's been quite volatile in the times I've joined because we've seen spikes, we've seen dips, you know, sort of insignificant dips, but Still, they make a difference. So I did buy in the major dip, which was very lucky for me actually. And I will talk about this more in another video, but now the cost average of my silver stack is about 20 Australian dollars per piece, per ounce, that is. So if I were to sell all my silver, I would be getting at least $12 profit off each piece, which is very significant. You know, you've got to note that that is quite a big jump. So I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with the cost average. And in terms of gold, I'm just very excited. Now, the one thing that I've actually been following quite closely and been educating myself a bit more about is the gold to silver ratio. And that is incredibly important. I think I will actually make a video. You'll definitely see one about the gold to silver ratio this week, if not a little bit after that, because it's such an important topic and it's very exciting actually. So I will talk to you guys more about that. Stay tuned. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, you know, smash the like button for the algorithm, all that good stuff. But we'll move on to a quick analysis, or a quick talking about the rest of the metals, and move on to the other segment because I don't want to keep you guys bored. We're going to make it interesting. We're going to make it exciting. So platinum has shot at just over 1,300 Australian dollars an ounce, which is pretty good. You know, it's been down a bit. I think we had it at about 1,100, what was it, a month ago maybe, but you know, exciting stuff. I think platinum is also very undervalued at the moment. My charts never seem to load with platinum, so we might actually come back to that in a minute. So let's go right about now. Well, I think the platinum charts officially hate me because they will not load no matter how long I wait. But I will fix that. Yep, that's good now. But however, I did do a bit of research, and the all-time high of platinum, believe it or not, is actually over 3,150 Australian dollars. Over. And now it's 1,200. Like, that is very, very significant. 1,300, but very significantly undervalued. You know, it's about a third of its price, which is also pretty similar to silver, except silver at the moment is a little bit more than a third of its all-time high. So I will be interested to see how that spans out. As for palladium, the interesting metal, in my opinion, it's actually gone up pretty well. I think last time we looked at it on the weekly review show, we were looking at about $3,000 per ounce, but $3,215.68. So that's pretty good. You know, we've seen platinum come down a bit. I've always been interested to see whether gold will ever overtake palladium, that is. But that will be a very interesting day if it does come. So I do have one question for you all after watching the end of the precious metals area now, because you are clearly interested in them if you're still watching, so a big thank you to you. But leave a comment regarding whether you ever think that the gold to silver ratio, so that basically means the price to buy 1 ounce of silver compared to 1 ounce of gold, so like how many ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold, will it ever reach 1-to-1? Will they ever be 1-to-1? So 1 ounce of silver will buy you 1 ounce of gold. Do you think that will ever happen? Do you think we will ever see gold and silver at the same price? Make sure to let me know. Make sure to let me know down below. I'm just so excited by all this. But you know, that just makes me smile, seeing all those prices there. Very exciting, very awesome stuff from the metals. I'm very excited to see what happens next weekend when we do the next show, because I'm interested to see what this week brings to the market. It's going to be very exciting. So without further ado, let's head on to the stock market. I'd just like to quickly let you guys know that if you are interested in getting any awesome financial resources, make sure to use some of the links in the description. They're some of my personal favorites in education for the young and the old. You know, suits everyone, some great books out there, so I recommend checking them out for sure. Also, if you're interested in any of my equipment, such as this very microphone here, make sure to use some of the other links below. And finally, if you would like a free trial with Amazon Kindle or Amazon Music or Amazon Audible, make sure to use the links below for a free trial. All free, completely free, so make sure to enjoy yourself. Check them out, you know, some good books there, so I definitely recommend picking up a copy of some of them yourself. That's all for now. We'll head on to the stock market. Make sure to subscribe and like the video. All right, let's go. Now I have to say, as I open up the stock app on my phone, I do see a lot of red, so I know that we've got a very interesting thing to be talking about today. So we will start off with a very common one because I'm looking to introduce as many people to this as I can. I'm expecting a lot of people watching will already know, because we do have a very large investing community around this channel, but in the case that you don't know, I've just enlightened your eyes to IVV. So that's the symbol of this share. It's S&P 500 ETF. So basically, that just means that these people go and invest in the top 500 companies of the US, I believe, just the US, and then you get to own part of most companies that are doing really well. So in this, you own a bit of Netflix, Apple, all the different ones. So it's quite interesting to know that you actually own part of, a phone that you see in the Apple store. So pretty cool, but a very interesting share because we saw a massive drop, just enlightening you guys again, on March 21st, roughly. I think it was, to be very precise, the massive drop was on the 22nd, the all-time low for the last while, to be honest, maybe be lowest in the last 2 years at least the last 2 years. But we did see it recover very well. So it's been interesting to watch what it does, and I have to say, it has not moved around the $20 that it's in at the moment. So it's between $300 and $320 US, where it's been staying at for roughly the last month, pretty much. To be very precise, yeah. So since the last month, it's still been in that 3 to 320 range, roughly. Even the last 3 months, it's been very close to there as well. So, it's pretty settled. I'm still staying out of it just for now because I do feel there is quite a bit of uncertainty at the moment as well. So I'm definitely focusing a lot more on my precious metals just because there's so much potential in them at the moment as the uncertainty increases. So I'd recommend you do a little bit of research of your own. Obviously, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just a kid giving some of my opinions, but I don't in any way encourage you guys to just work off everything I say. Do your own research, do whatever works best for you, and you will be most successful in that way. So that's it for IVV. Just thought I'll touch up on it for you guys. Another one that I'm very excited to be talking about is one that I've also mentioned in the past, and that is VanEck Gold Miners ETF. So not a gold ETF, gold miners, and it's doing crazy good, crazy good. So if you remember, if we just go over the last month roughly, we've seen it start at about $34 a share, 41 at the moment, 41.85 at closing. So that's over 22% growth in the single month alone, which is very, very good for those of you who do not know. If we're having, I can't even go into that, but if we're having 22% growth over the whole year for 1 month each month, that is astronomical, crazy growth. So I don't expect it to continue to grow at that rate because that is outrageous. It is quite much related to gold because it is a gold mining ETF. But in the past week, we've seen it go up by over 5% from start to end of the week. Obviously, there were some dips and spikes, but that is the max of what we saw. The max from the peak to the drop is over 6%. So that's pretty exciting to see that working out. Over the last day, a little bit of action, but not heaps, up almost 1%, which again, very big. If we're having 1% today, that's 365 growth in a year. No share grows that much except for Tesla, because Tesla's crazy. So it's good to see how this is going. Obviously, gold's been doing very well, so it's good to see that is going along with it. Speaking of, Tesla has been very interesting to watch over the past month in particular. So you can see this here. And you'd expect that growth of Tesla would be quite big. But when you look at the actual numbers, from bottom to top, that is over 80%, 80% growth over the month in total, from the top to bottom. Over the month from start to end, over 45%. Crazy to think. Tesla has been quite low for quite a while. If you look over the last 6 months, we saw it go up and down a bit quite significantly. Like we saw it go from $5.50 all the way up to $8 to $7 to $9.17, all the way down to $3.61 again, then continued to climb back up quite gradually, and then we saw it go from $9.85 all the way to like $1,500 a share, spiking over $16.43. Crazy! That is incredible. So from top to bottom, if you had bought when it spiked down, this is the last 3 months to make it clear, and then you had sold at the very top, you would have made 355% return on your investment, which is insane. So there would have been a lot of people that benefited quite significantly from that change. Obviously, there's been a big shifting of the wealth, but Tesla actually is down a fair bit over the past day in particular. So not very significantly, but over the past week, we've seen it in total from the top to bottom down 16.5%. So it's very shaky. It's quite a risky investment. I would put that under the category of risky because I mean, you're seeing such crazy and fluctuative results. It's not guaranteed, it's a bit dangerous, but I mean, if you want to try and find a way to micro invest just to get a taster, you could benefit quite significantly, you know? What if it 10 times itself, you know, grew by crazy amounts, and even if you had $100 in it, you'd still be making a very large return on your investment. So, you know, you do what you'd like to do. I'm very interested to see how this goes out, but I think that's pretty much it for this video. So we'll head on to the outro right about now, and thank you for watching, I guess. Now, I usually say to myself, if the ice in my drink is still formed while I'm still talking at the end, then I've succeeded. You know, I haven't bored you guys to death. But if you're still watching, thank you sincerely. Thank you very, very much, because you know, you really mean the most to me, you guys still watching, because, you know, it's not an easy thing to watch this much video. And I know that in particular videos that are in this sort of manner, you know, they're not exactly a new topic like I'd usually be talking about it over at the studio table. But I think it's a really important thing to be watching. So I believe that you've really done yourself some good. You know, you've enlightened your eyes to what's been happening over the week. And I think it's really important to stay current in this stuff. It may not be the most interesting, but it can actually give you a really big heads up. You know, if I'm not following these, then I might not know exactly what my silver was worth. But I've been tracking the growth, I can see all this, and so I'm so grateful that I do that and you guys do it as well. So that's all for now, guys. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for future videos. That's all, and make sure to have a good weekend, I guess. Enjoy yourself, stay safe, and until next time, everybody, goodbye.